Hello there, Seraphim17 once again. This is a channel update because it's been a considerably long time since I've made one, and we're moving into quite the fulcrum on the channel right now of an interim between craziness and the craziness to come. So as I do with all of these things, guys, I have to thank my patrons at the beginning, because there are people on YouTube that only watch the beginning of the video, and if you take away any information from this particular one, I would like it to be that here is a list of really incredible people who enable me to do the things that you watch and enjoy on YouTube, and various other places too, because we'll be speaking about that as well. So in no particular order, guys, I'm going to go through my list of people who have joined my Patreon since the last time I did one of these updates, and I want to thank the newcomers. This is extending a thanks to everybody who's still there and who continues to support me, because without that support it's very difficult to justify putting in the time that you need to put into YouTube for you to make the kind of things that I do. As you all know, guys, YouTube is not the best platform anymore for almost anything. The only reason a lot of people are still here is because it's a monopoly system and YouTube has the best place to do this at the moment, and hopefully that will change in the future and there'll be some healthy competition and YouTube will try again, rather than just completely filtering the site down to this platform that benefits these rich, incredible corporations that are just essentially turning YouTube into television. And if you're anything like me, I came to YouTube to get away from television because television is crap. But here are the names. So a big thank you to the following people. I would like to thank Ranger WG, I'd like to thank Stephen, Dennis, Andy. You'll have to bear with me here, guys, there's a couple of jumbles in this email list for me to pick from. I'd like to thank Anthony. I would like to thank Amias, Maya, Henry. Just bear with me, ladies and gentlemen. And Shattered Stasis. So all of those people, guys, are people that have jumped onto my support system over there or altered what they were doing previously, so a big thank you to those guys. I don't want to dwell too long on this subject because I know a lot of people are not the biggest fan of the idea of me essentially asking for money or talking about the financial side of all of this, but just know those people keep the lights on and I am immeasurably indebted to them, so thank you so much, guys. If you're interested in becoming part of my Patreon, there are links and descriptions on my About channel on my page. It's over on my Twitch page. You can even ask a comment or ask on Twitter and you'll get an answer. It's on the front page of my YouTube channel. There is, on my banner, there is an option there to go over there. And you can look at all the perks and the benefits that you get, and you can see whether or not you think it's worthwhile supporting me. But a big thank you to everybody who does, because it's incredible. It really is. It's profound. It's awesome. And some people might look at it as just, oh, you're just getting free money for doing nothing, you lazy bastard. And you can think of it like that, but it's not, and I'm happy that it works the way that it does. So a sincere thank you to everybody who takes the time to be selfless and support something greater than themselves, which is my crappy channel. Thank you so very much. So, what has been happening? What is going on and what is going to happen? Those are the three forecasts for today. So, as you know from watching the videos at this moment in time, we've gone from a bit of a slow period when I was covering Ease 8, which was a project that not many people gave a shit about, and then we've swooped head on into the new year where I covered Resident Evil 2 Remake, which seems to be getting quite a lot of traction, and a lot of people seem to be enjoying those videos, which is really, really good. One of the biggest curses of being a YouTuber is that you make these projects that you love, that you hope get a lot of attention, and then they don't. And it happens to a lot of people, and the numbers that it get will be in relation to how big you are and how well known you are. But you always want something that you've put that much effort and love into to see more light than it oftentimes does. So it's really motivating right now that Resident Evil 2 has been so supportive and people are resonating with it. You might be a new person listening to this because of those videos, so to you I say howdy, and all I can do is be grateful that we got a really, really fun remake, which I'm going to be continuing to play, and later on today you're going to see some of the DLC, so look forward to that. But Resident Evil has been really, really, really successful for me. I've had a fun time with it. It's a great game. I recommend it to anybody who enjoys that kind of thing. And then the games that are coming out right now that have just been released, I say just been released, they've been released a while, but I've yet to cover them, are the two big questions that you might be curious about. One of them is Metro, Metro Exodus is a really, really cool game. I've played about 2.5 hours of it. I like it a lot, but I can't run it the way I want to run it because it doesn't perform very well on my PC because my PC is not very good. And I don't want to capture something that looks subpar. So I'm going to give Metro a little bit of space before I cover it so that I can actually cover it in a format that makes it useful. And I think that game is pretty difficult too. Judging from my Ranger Hardcore blind run, I've come up across being killed in like 2 hits. It's pretty vicious, and I love that because it means that maybe you'll actually need a video to guide you through it, and maybe you'll need some strategies to see success, rather than the games that are so easy they practically throw the achievements at you for buying it. And then on the other side is Kingdom Hearts 3. Kingdom Hearts 3 is kind of a weird one because I like the game, even though I don't think it's the best game, and it's an easy game too. It's not a very challenging game. You can make it more challenging than it needs to be, but nobody would ever really do that except for me because I'm stupid. And then on top of that, there is this speak of Critical Mode being a free DLC that's coming later on. And originally I wanted to cover Kingdom Hearts 3 Level 1 Proud Mode, and then I started doing it and it's boring as shit. It's not even hard, like it's just dull. And if I'm not enjoying playing it, probably not going to be very enjoyable to watch because then I'm going to have to talk over it, and then all I'm going to do is reiterate how shit it is. And as much as people like me to go in on games and tell you about things that are wrong and things that could be better and things that I disagree with, not everybody comes for that. People love Kingdom Hearts and they want to come and enjoy it and see a video of somebody essentially, you know, showing the game off, not saying this is why everything in here is absolute dog shit, which there's merit to that and it can be funny, but it's not something I want to really do. Kingdom Hearts is a special series to me, even though I'm not some lunatic who thinks it's perfect. And I don't really want to do that to the third game, because as flawed as it is, I do think it has merit. And when I play it and it's not loading and it's not performing like absolute dog shit on consoles, it is fun. So what I've done is I held off from the Xbox OG version that I had, because if you've not seen it, guys, it's hilarious. It looks like a Game Boy Color. It's so bad visually, it runs like shit, it plays like shit, it loads like shit, it's like actively pushing shit into your eyes the entire time. So I waited to rent the PlayStation 4 version, and a lot of people have told me that the PlayStation 4 version is not much better, which I can say, you are not as correct as you believe yourself to be. In the grand scheme of things, it's not optimum, and it's not what you would want, but the contrast, guys, oh my god, the contrast. It is so much better. I can't even begin to tell you. And that's coming from somebody, I favour Microsoft. I prefer the Xbox. But the fact remains, it's a piece of shit. Unless you have the super expensive one. But why would you do that when you can just buy a good graphics card rather than a subpar fucking bootleg PC, right? No idea why that is the way it is, but it is. I think it's profoundly sad for console players, because I think that if you are an Xbox guy and you spent all that money for that big machine, it should be putting out the best results right now, and it's not, and that's bullshit, and all that's happening is you're being robbed, essentially, and it isn't fair. You know, you can take all the jokes and all the digs aside, but fundamentally, as a consumer, you are being shafted, and it makes me very sad. But I got the PlayStation 4 version, it looks a lot nicer, it's a lot more playable, it's still nowhere near as good as it needs to be, the game needs a PC port. They're on about putting it on the Switch, which makes me want to fucking slap Tetsuya Nomura, because he can't even make the bloody game run on the PS4 or an Xbox, and he wants to put it on the Switch. Somebody needs to shoot that man. Please shoot him, take a selfie, and send it to me on Twitter, because good God, put it on the fucking Switch. I can't do it, guys. It irritates me so much. We'll put it on a fucking calculator when we can't get it running on a microwave. Yeah, great idea, dude. Love everything about that. Please leave and bring Square back to what they used to be when they were good. Anyhow, so I've recorded up to the Tangled world, and I've had a really good time. I'm not doing level 1, I'm just doing Proud, I'm just having fun with it. I'm showing some parries, I'm showing some strategies. I'm trying to put an emphasis on using the movement, because the movement is kind of cool, even though at the beginning of the game it's a bit awkward because you can't really do much. You have to really work hard to do a basic wall-to-wall because you don't have the range, but I think it makes it a little bit more interesting to watch, and hopefully my gameplay will be something that you can come to, because even though you're not going to need help, and even though you might not care, I feel like if I can play it in a certain manner that makes it a bit more exciting or a bit more interesting, I can keep your attention with the visuals, and then the commentary can also keep you there as well. So we'll do a bit more of that. But just know that I will be covering Kingdom Hearts, but there's a chance I might be doing critical mode and I might can what I'm doing right now. It all depends on what the news brings, because if you're not in the loop, They've announced both free and paid DLC for Kingdom Hearts, so I'll be very interested to see where that goes. The only thing I want to see right now is a PC port. That's it. I would love to see them announce a PC port, and if they announce a Switch port, I'm going to nosedive out of my window, because I can't. I've come back to this topic, it irks me so much. It vexes me, it irks me. It really is just acidic, corrosive, acerbic, right in the eyeball. The pupil is flailing right now, the vision is failing, the optic nerve is just dissolving in its own feces. It's just not a good place to be. But that's Kingdom Hearts 3, guys. I know there'll be people that love it, I know there'll be people that hate it. It is what it is. I'm going to cover it, and I'm looking forward to covering it and sharing it with you, 'cause there's some cool stuff in that game. But yeah, Metro Kingdom Hearts ticked off on that list. So, what is coming up in the near future is a question that a lot of people ask, and a lot of people are interested in. What am I covering next? What are you covering this? When are you doing this? The next ones are going to be probably some of the biggest titles of the year. I think this next month coming up is going to be the biggest month in the year, because there's so much happening. So the first thing coming out very shortly is called Left Alive. And if you haven't seen this game, guys, you're in for a treat. Imagine Citizen Kane if it was a video game. Can you imagine that? No? Good. Because this is a massive piece of shit. This game looks so bad, I can't help but want to play it. It looks so wonky, so dumb, so Japanese, so just do not pay actual money for this, because you will be sad. But I think it's going to be great, and I'm really looking forward to it, because it's made by... they say it's made by the Metal Gear team, and it doesn't look like it. It looks like it was made by the window cleaners that overlooked Hideo Kojima's office. It looks fantastic, and I don't really know what it is. You're some kind of lady spy, military woman in a political intrigue. She's doing some awkward crouching during a stealth section with terrible AI. Then you're a really manly looking, like, grey-haired guy with a fake hand, smoking a cigar. Then there was robots. Then it got confusing. I don't even know what to tell you, but I'm covering it because it looks amazing. And if it is really, 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 really shit, it might even be better. But I'm going in with good expectations. I think it's going to be the greatest shit game ever. So, it's going to be a fun stream, hopefully. And I don't think my PC will fail to run that game, because it doesn't look too intensive. So that should be cool. And then afterwards is Devil May Cry. The big one. The one that a lot of people associate with my channel, funnily enough, considering I don't play it that much, but I have a rich history in it. And I actually got an application from Capcom to send off for a review copy, which I got thanks to my buddy Ruben, so big thank you to you, Ruben, you're amazing. It was really unexpected, because he's a magician, I don't know how he managed to grab it, but I did the application form last night, and I have no idea if I'm not allowed to talk about this. I would assume I'm okay to talk about this, because it wasn't anything like, how big is your dick, and how many people do you hate, or anything. And it wanted information on your channel, it wanted information on what you've done with the series. And there was quite a big box, and I wanted to put a ton of stuff and be like, I really love your game, please give me a copy. But I didn't do that, because that's not very professional. So instead, they ask you to cite a reference of video content that you've made for their series. So I picked one of the analysis videos that I've done for Devil May Cry 5 to show them a more modern take on what I do with the channel, as I analyse Dante fighting a boss and things. Hopefully that's the video where I didn't talk about dicks the entire time and make super inappropriate lewd gestures, but I probably did, because it's just who I am. Who knows? And then on the references to previous things I've covered, I just listed off all the walkthroughs that I've made. I mentioned Devil May Cry 1, Devil May Cry 3, Devil May Cry 4, SSS rank, DMC, things like that. And I'm hoping that they can see that I've been with the series a decent amount of time, and I do know what I'm talking about. And that the videos that I've made for those series have done surprisingly well, considering I'm not PewDiePie. So there could be the prospect of me getting that game slightly early, which would be amazing. The only downside is, I imagine if I do get it quite early, which I probably won't, if it does have any kind of review embargo, gameplay embargo, things of that nature, I'm going to fall off the earth. Because I'm not going to be able to stream it, because I'm not allowed to, and I'm not going to be able to put things on YouTube from it, because I'm not allowed to yet, and I'm going to want to play it, because it would be stupid to get that game early and not have a million things made by the time I'm allowed to release things. So if I just vanish, and on Twitter I'm like, guys, DMC5, Dunzo, you know why. because I have to do as much as I can with that game to stand a chance of hopefully growing. Because that's what this is all about, guys. Whenever a new high-profile video game comes out, it has its most demand. In that instance, when a game comes out, you have all the people that are interested in it, rampant and ravenous for views, looking for things about it, looking for information, for walkthroughs, for let's plays, for reviews, for analyses. And then on top of that, you have all the new people brought in from the marketing and from the hype of everybody else. It's a big release, it's a huge release, it's one of the biggest ones Capcom's made this year, and they've just put out one of the best games this year, which is crazy, right? So in that moment, your exposure levels are astronomically high if you can put up something that resonates with the audiences on YouTube and the algorithm, and that is so important to what we do here. This is key to growth, to networking, and to expanding, and to getting that brand recognition. If you cover dead games, you're going to get dead results, and you can't get angry about that. I was really bugged out when my Ease walkthrough was getting 100 views. But I need to realise, and I did after like a few days, you come to realise that if you're going to put a passion project out there that not many people know about and not many people care about, you can't get mad when they don't turn up. And you might have made the best video in the world. Your walkthrough might be some of the best videos you felt you've ever done. It could have some of the sharpest commentary, some of the best stuff you've ever mentioned. It could be a gold mine of everything you do and personify as a content producer on a platform. But nobody gives a fuck. So nobody sees it because it doesn't get the circulation that it would. Well, guess what? Devil May Cry 5 isn't going to be that, guys. Devil May Cry 5 is going to be seen. It's going to be an opportunity for you to say, this is me, this is what I do, this is what I'm passionate about, fuck you. You know, you get your voice out there, you get your opinion out there, you can do that, and it doesn't matter how big you are, it doesn't matter how small you are. This is a great opportunity for everybody. And of course, there'll be those people that always will rule, because that's how YouTube works. But there's always the chance that you can teeter out ahead of where you are now. And everybody wants to get bigger, everybody wants more people to see what they do, everybody wants to feel like they're improving. It's just a natural human impulse. And Devil May Cry could be really, really good for that. So hopefully I get the review copy. I'm going to be getting it on PC and Xbox One. I'm probably going to be trying to do co-op with my community, depending on how good it is and how that actually works out. I know a few people that are dying to play with me on certain things, so there'll be some of that. It could be great. I have no idea how good the game's going to be, guys. I just want it to be good. I want it to be so good. I want it to be so good that I forget everything else exists. I want to just completely personify and embody it. I want it to be quintessential Devil May Cry. I want it to be 2001, when a younger version of me was falling in love with Dante for the first time. I want the sky to be fair. I truly do. And I hope it is. Like, it can't not be good, right? It seems like it's going to be so sick. And even if Nero sucks, Dante could be amazing. And even if Dante sucks, that fella in the sandals could be amazing, you know? It has so much potential. And then, before I even have chance to fully enjoy that majestic game that I might be playing for the rest of the year, we have the game I'm most excited for. Sekiro: Shadows Die Twice. A game that I would happily sacrifice every other game this year to just get my hands on. A game I am fervently wishing that they will bring a demo out for, so I can just feel the mechanics and get an understanding of what it is. Because I am so excited for that game. And you might be thinking, but Chris, you're a Devil May Cry guy, why would you not be more excited for Devil May Cry? Dude, it's feudal Japan. Feudal Japan, From Software. Everything about it is just tickling me in the right places. I love me some Devil May Cry, but the whole theme of those games never was my favourite thing, you know? This is. I can't even begin to tell you the hard-on I have for this kind of stuff, so I'm so deep right now, it's not even funny. I cannot wait. But I'm trying to ignore it so that the wait isn't too difficult, because there's nothing worse than not being able to do anything and getting lethargic because you cannot wait for something. It makes you feel like an 8-year-old, but it happens. Happens to the best of us. But everything that gets released after that, guys, is kind of far into the future at this point, and I don't want to focus too much. But you may be wondering, what am I going to be doing with Sekiro and Devil May Cry? Because some people want blind playthroughs, some people want walkthroughs, some people don't want anything, you know? Everybody's different. The way that I'm hoping to attempt it, if I get it in the right kind of time zones, I want to stream my first runs, so that you guys can see me learn, you can see me suck, basically. You can see me doing stupid things, like testing the bosses, testing the hitboxes, testing the moves, finding the mechanics, seeing what we can do. and then the next time you see it, it will be a vastly different player, because at that point I'll have put maybe 2 to 3 extra playthroughs in, I'll have maybe 100 hours under my belt, and I'll be able to really show you what can be done, and you'll be able to then see where I was when it started and where I am now. Because there's this big misnomer on my channel that new people seem to have quite a lot, this impression that I don't ever get hit, I don't ever die, I do everything the first attempt, I'm like a god at gaming and all this silly stuff, and it isn't true. All you get to see, guys, is the success rate. You get to see the fancy edit where I make all the right choices. You don't see the bad choices. You don't see the times when the game stomps me. You don't see the misery. You don't see the abject hell. You know, you don't walk through the flames. It's very, very different. So if I can give you an example of what it's like and then give you the ideal example, it's a nice piece of contrast, which I think is always helpful. But that's pretty much the upcoming projects, guys. Those things are going to be what we're moving forward with the channel. There will be other things that I forgot to mention, because I always forget things on these sequences. So now I want to talk about Twitch, which you might not have any interest with Twitch, guys, and if so, feel free to go elsewhere now. Thank you for the support, thank you for being here, thank you for everything that you do. But there is also another side of my business which is, if not better than this side, which I never thought it would be, but I'm very happy to see it because I'm actually getting growth. And that is Twitch. Over on Twitch, I am currently in review of becoming a partner. And if you're not too savvy on the terminology and the tech of that website, partner status is essentially a verification system that enables you to get a lot more interesting and beneficial situations presented to you. So as it stands, I took on the affiliate program, something I did not want to do, but I'm glad that I did do it, so a big thank you to everybody that pushed me. And affiliate is essentially partner without a lot of the benefits. It's kind of preliminary partner to see whether or not you're worthwhile to push towards that direction. And as it stands, you can subscribe to me, you can get my emotes, you can do those things, you can send me bits, you can tip me, you can do all the things that Twitch is known for, that you either enjoy and support or you don't and think is disgusting. All of that stuff is currently available as it stands. However, when I become partnered, it elevates my status to a whole new realm of essentially the big leagues. At that point, I never have to worry about what my numbers are, because it will never negatively affect me. Obviously, in the grand scheme of things, if I get partnered and then I've got 20 views on every stream, I'm probably going to become homeless and then shoot myself, but that probably won't happen just by sheer virtue of how my channel is expanding at the moment. What I mean by this is, before we were able to be established as a partner and apply to it, I had to average 75 viewers across 30 days. And the way that Twitch averages your views is kind of difficult and not the way that I thought it would be, so it proved to be much more difficult than I thought it was. It took us a while to do. I didn't try everything I could to do it because I have this thing against doing all the cheesy strategies and what have you. I could have easily done a lot more, shall we say, nefarious means to do it. And I didn't want to do that because I don't see the point in artificially inflating myself if there's no potential growth in it. So it took us a bit longer than I wanted, but we finally, thanks to Resident Evil 2, we were able to get a lot more new traffic, we were able to do it, and we were able to apply for it. And now I'm currently waiting for them to tell me whether or not I've got it. I might not have it, I might get rejected, who knows. They might see that one video where I was shouting at that one dude. It happens, but just so you know, he deserved it because he was a cunt. Hopefully, that won't be the case. They'll see what I'm doing, they'll understand the potential in it, and they'll say, awesome, welcome to the big boy club. The second great thing that it's going to do, which might frustrate you, because I know it does me, when you go onto a stream and you can't change the settings for the stream, because it's only in Source, and Source is 1080p and your shitty internet can't handle it, that will never ever be a problem anymore. When you're partnered, you get options. Quality options are so important. There are so many people that play it on like 420p, so many people that do audio only because they just don't have the internet for it, but they want to be there. All those people are being ostracized and pushed away from your channel because Twitch is arbitrarily giving you ridiculous settings that just aren't fair. And when you compare them to its direct competitor, which is YouTube, which unfortunately streaming on YouTube is nowhere near as good as Twitch, for several reasons, on YouTube, doesn't matter how big you are, you get quality options. On Twitch, you don't. And it's a bummer, but that will be changed when that happens. And then on top of that, whenever you see an ad on Twitch, you'll notice in the top left it says this ad supports Twitch. So every time you guys jump onto my stream or refresh and you get to watch Jeremy Clarkson be a cunt for the 50th time and you wish, oh Jeremy, I hope you crash that car into a vat of acid and every part of you gradually burns, in that instance, that will say, this ad supports me. So you'll be giving me pennies when you see those ads. So your suffering will have meaning because it will help me rather than helping a big corporation that's got bazillions in the bank. Which is awesome, right? I like an extra 40p a month. And then on top of this, which is the best thing, in my opinion, is because you are verified, you have shown that you are committed to the platform, you've shown that you've got a growing audience, a growing community, and it enables you to qualify for things along the lines of the branded sponsorship deals. There are these bounties that Twitch does, and these Twitch bounties are games that are given to you to play for a set amount of time, and depending on the viewers that you bring into those titles, directly reflects how much you get paid on top of whatever you're already doing. And I would do bounties for absolutely everything, because one of the series that I do on my channel is a balls deep series where we just jump in, we raw dog some random video game, we see what it's all about. Half the time they're rubbish or I don't like them and we just get on with it, and that would be an opportunity to do that, but have at the end of it something coming back, which would be amazing. And each of these doors opens to something new, something better, different revenue streams, bigger, more grandiose things, and hopefully, when they all come together, it will come together as something quite special. Because at this moment in time, I am focusing towards bigger goals, loftier goals, and Twitch is showing a lot of great things, and I owe that all to you guys, you know. If you're on YouTube and you're sitting in this part and you just kind of feel like, I feel a bit left out, I don't really go to Twitch, that's unfortunate, because I feel like you're missing out on potentially the best part of being incorporated with me right now. Being associated with my channel, the stuff that's happening on Twitch in this moment, this kind of transformative, rough period of us finding our feet and learning how it works and growing together, is like the best thing I've done since I started doing this. Everybody who shows up is seemingly having a pretty good time, where there's a nice mixture of conversations, debates and arguments and jokes and laughs and random pornographic talk. Like it just has this wonderful flux between a lot of things. But I think the thing that we nail the most, or how I feel we nail the most, is everybody seems to be using it for what it's meant to be. And I know that might sound a little bit presumptive of me to say, but I try to make this known when I'm streaming. The stream is escapism. The whole point of it is to get away from something that's shit. Everybody has something niggling, everybody has a problem, everybody has an issue, everybody has something they don't want to face. The stream is that sanctuary from that. Instead of being berated at home, you get berated by me. Instead of being beaten at home, you get beaten by me. And the best part is, I make money on it. So how good is that, right? Not only do you get a cauliflower ear from my verbal battery, but I also get to steal your lunch money afterwards. And it just benefits everybody. It's fantastic, right? Wiping my ass on jewels and shit. It's going to be great. Swimming in Scrooge McDuck's vault. I can't wait. I'm going to have a bed built from bullion. It's going to be fantastic. But it's just a fun place to be, and if you're not interested in Twitch and you've never given it a chance, I recommend that you try. And even if it's not for me, you know, even if it's for somebody else that you like, you might find an experience that you didn't expect it to be like. And so many different places on Twitch right now are just completely different to places you expect. People think that you have to spam memes and you have to spam emotes and it has to all be about a certain thing and this and that and the other, and it really doesn't. The greatest part is that the streamer can make it the way they want to make it. They can have as many rules as they want, or they can have as few rules as they want. They can kind of forge their own kind of identity, and that's a really exciting moment. And we live in a very privileged moment in human history, because this is the first time ever where people have been able to do this with this kind of ease, this kind of quality. Like, it didn't exist before. It does now. And we would be stupid not to grab hold of it and try our best to see where it goes. And if that sounds like an exciting proposition for you, then welcome to the channel and Godspeed, right? But I look forward to future projects. I look forward to hopefully future patrons and future subscribers and future followers and future, detractors, as Phil likes to say, future dissenters. It doesn't matter who you are. Thank you for being here. Thank you for the support. And moving forward, we will do so not as one, but together. Because together, we're unstoppable, man. Cannot be stopped, won't be stopped. Absolute power. Thank you for watching, and you take care now.